Ever wonder why the star striker never seems to pass to the winger, even when they're literally wide open? Or why the player actually wearing the captain's armband isn't the one hyping everyone up in the locker room? Well, welcome to the invisible social matrix of a sports team. Every single squad has that one guy who hogs the ball, or, the quiet player everyone secretly defers to. You can't see these dynamics on a stat sheet, but trust me, they completely dictate who wins and who loses. Welcome back to Subject Simplified. Look, I know you guys are probably knee-deep in your B.Tech Level 3 sports psychology coursework right now, probably surviving on iced coffee and sheer willpower. But take a breath, okay? Because today, we're giving you the exact playbook you need to absolutely crush those assignments. We're going to make sure you not only understand group dynamics, but can actually map them out like a pro in this explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this. A team is essentially a giant web of complex overlapping social bonds. And elite coaches, they don't just guess at team chemistry. They use a very specific scientific tool to actually see those invisible connections driving their team's performance. And by the end of this review, you'll be able to use it too. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover, number 1, what is a sociogram? 2, measuring cohesion and processes. 3, spotting the real leaders. And 4, building your own sociogram. This is exactly the knowledge you need to hit those grading criteria, so let's get right to it. Section 1. What is a sociogram? Mapping the hidden matrix. Have you ever watched a game and felt like a team is just a random group of people who happen to be wearing the same shirt? Like, they have the talent, but they just aren't clicking. To fix that, we need to map their hidden matrix. So get your pens ready, because here's the strict textbook definition for your assignment notes. A sociogram is a visual tool used to monitor interactions, choices, or preferences of individuals in a group. I know, it sounds a bit like some fancy social media network graph, but in sports psychology, it's actually the ultimate team lie detector. It reveals exactly who likes who ignores who, and how the group really functions. It's like a totally different language. On one side, fans just look at the scoreboard, right? Goals, points, wins, losses. But on the other side, the sociogram looks at the underlying social relations, influence, and preferences. You can't always see things like social loafing, where a player puts in way less effort because they're hiding in the group, or poor task cohesion just by casually watching the game. You literally have to map it out. But that brings up a pretty massive question. How do we actually measure team chemistry without dragging a literal chemistry set onto the football pitch? How do you quantify human behavior during a fast-paced game? Section 2. Measuring cohesion and processes. Tracking the flow of the game. To build our map, we have to gather real, raw data on the group's dynamics and interactions while they're actively playing. So what exactly are we tracking? Well, when you observe a team, you're looking at 4 main things: interactions with the team, social relations, channels of influence, and lines of communication. A great example of this? Think of a hockey game. The lines of communication might be who passes the puck to whom, while the channels of influence might just be noticing that everyone on the ice is constantly turning around to yell at the goalie. Now, this is what that raw observation data actually looks like in practice. During a game, you're literally tallying up interactions. Take a look at the data we're pulling here. Player A passed to player B 8 times. But player A only passed to player C 1 single time. Meanwhile, player B passed right back to player A 6 times. Boom! We've instantly exposed a clear bias. Player A clearly only wants to pass to their best buddy, player B, and is completely ignoring player C. Now here is an absolute pro tip pulled straight from your source material. The unfamiliar sport hack. If you observe a football team playing football, their tactical training might mask their real social bonds, right? Like they just pass the way the coach drilled them to pass. But if you make them play a game they don't know, like Unihawk or Ultimate Frisbee, that tactical discipline completely vanishes. It strips away the training and exposes their raw, unfiltered friendship cliques. That is when you get the absolute best sociogram data. So once we have all this data, tracking who talks to who, we really have to ask, who does the team actually listen to when the game is on the line and the pressure is at its max? Section 3. Spotting the real leaders. The armband doesn't tell the whole story. Because as any athlete knows, the player wearing the captain's armband isn't always the one pulling the strings. A sociogram reveals the true, invisible hierarchy of a sports group. There's this really essential quote from the source material regarding leadership theories you'll need for your assignment. The difference between prescribed and emergent leaders.
Now, a prescribed leader is the person officially appointed by the coach or manager. They're handed the captaincy. But an emergent leader? That's the person the sociogram proves everyone naturally gravitates toward and looks to for guidance, regardless of any official titles.
Identifying these leaders is absolutely crucial because of the massive impact they have on cohesion. Positive leadership creates improved performance, clear communication, and a common goal. But if leadership and cohesion break down, you get the negative impacts. Social loafing, misunderstanding, and, as the textbook points out, plain old selfishness and greediness. A coach uses the sociogram to spot these negative dynamics and fix them before they totally ruin the season.
All right, I can literally hear you asking through the screen right now. This theory is great and all, but how do I actually draw one of these things to secure my passing grade? Don't worry, I've got you covered.
Section 4. Building your own sociogram. From raw data to visual map.
Let's get super practical and turn that raw data into a visual map that's going to make your instructors very happy. Here are the literal construction steps. Step 1. Collect your data. You can either use a questionnaire, literally just asking players who they like playing with, or use live game observation, like our ultimate frisbee hack. Step 2. Draw circles on a piece of paper to represent the individual players. And step 3. Draw arrows between those circles to represent interactions. So if player A passes to player B, you just draw an arrow from A to B. It's really that straightforward.
Now, why am I being so specific about these exact steps? Because this directly targets your BP4 grading criteria for a pass, which is to produce sociograms showing relationships between members of a sports group. If you follow those 3 steps, use a game observation to track interactions, and clearly map out those friendship connections with circles and arrows, you have absolutely nailed this pass criteria.
But hey, we don't just want to pass, right? We want the merit. Look at the BM3 grading criteria. Explain results to improve group cohesion and leadership potential. This means the drawing is really just the beginning. To get the merit, you must analyze your map. You have to play the role of the sports psychologist and tell the coach exactly how to fix the team's broken dynamics based on the emergent leaders and the isolated players your arrows just revealed. The ball is totally in your court now. You've got the theories, the observation hacks, and the exact knowledge of what the grading criteria demand. You understand that it's not just about drawing a bunch of circles, it's about interpreting human behavior under competitive pressure.
You basically hold the coach's secret playbook now. Mapping social relations doesn't just get you a passing grade on your BTech assignment, it is the fundamental secret to understanding and unlocking elite sports performance. You are literally learning to see the game within the game.
So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to take with you. Think about a team or maybe a group project you're currently a part of. Who is the prescribed leader and who is the emergent leader? And more importantly, what invisible social dynamics are secretly dragging your own team down?
If this explainer simplified your studies and helped you feel ready to tackle your coursework, please hit that like button and subscribe to Subject Simplified. We've got plenty more in-depth educational content coming to help you crush your classes. Good luck on the assignment and keep analyzing.